All right. That was Usisi. That was Sister Sisi Winers saying the goodness of God. Welcome to Thriving in Abundance Talk. Isiqubulo sethu sitholakala John 10:10, where it says, even if the thief comes to kill, to steal, to destroy, but Jesus came so we may have life in abundance. So thriving in abundance talk. Abundance is your portion. Today we are on our Woman Thrive series, and I'd like to greet my guest this afternoon. Hey, Carmen.
Hello, Zodwa.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Happy spring.
Happy spring.
You look amazing in your Zulu Madam kimono. Mechi mechi. And of course, Zulu Madam, you can get it from www.zulumadam.co.za. You can get it on Instagram and Facebook. That's where we have our shop as Zulu Madam. So today is Woman Thrive. So we're just talking about you.
Talk about me.
Yeah. What an honor and a privilege to just be given an hour.
Being able to talk about yourself. I'm just going to say probably not my favorite subject in the world.
Yeah. All right. So I do know that you're obviously a physiotherapist, having been my family physiotherapist for the past 15 years or so. But now you're pivoting to being a coach, like a wellness executive coach. So tell us a little bit about who you are, just briefly where you come from.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah, of course. We are talking about you, so we want to know.
So I grew up in a small little town in the Free State called Bethlehem.
Yeah.
I grew up in quite a small family. Got an older sister, mom and dad. Mom and dad still live in Bethlehem. And then I went to primary school in Bethlehem, and then graduated to boarding school in Bloemfontein in 1994. And then went off to university in Pretoria to study physio.
Right. I'm actually curious about your boarding school life, because I went to boarding school, and the things that we got to in boarding school, my mom wouldn't want to know about those things even now. So how was boarding school? And I believe it was a time when we were transitioning as a country. Yes. So it must have been interesting for you, because I'm sure maybe for the first time you started, going to class with people from different backgrounds.
100%.
That must have been quite an experience. Tell us more about that.
So, I started off in primary school in very much a single race school, and then graduated to high school, and it was completely different in 94. And it was different. But I think because to me it was from primary school to high school, to me it was just, this is high school. But I loved it because I had to learn to interact with different people from different cultures and start to figure out how different people think and work and do things. And I think from that time already, it just started creating this interest in me of enjoying different cultures. But I suppose if you think about it, it was something to wrap your head around because it was new. But I enjoy change. I know not everyone does, but I really enjoy change. And so I suppose I would have experienced it differently to a lot of different people.
I hear you. Change is the only constant in life, so you better start embracing change, because it's coming one way or the other. There must have been, lessons that where you had, or that you carried from the boarding school experience, the high school experience, to tertiary. Just give us 3 things that were highlights for you in your boarding school, because sometimes it's important that we talk about these things to help especially the younger generation, because sometimes they are going through things and it feels like it never happened when we were growing up, yet actually some of the things we went through them, and there could be lessons there.
So that's a very interesting one to ask me, because I think I've had retrospect lessons as I've had more relationships as an adult with people, and I've had conversations. I think really important to realize that it doesn't matter what your different cultures are. You are going to always have two different perspectives when two people have a conversation or interact with each other. And that's always really important to consider, because what you experience in your home, in your belief structure, in your cultural structure, shapes the way that you see things. And if I think about it now, I wish I'd asked more questions in high school so that I could understand a little bit better. I was fascinated, but I wish I had asked more questions. I wish I had asked, how are you doing? How are you transitioning into this? How's your experience of this? Because I think now, like I said, in retrospect, I realized that it was a really, really tough time for a lot of the girls, because it was so new, and there were so many expectations placed on people. And I only realized that now as an adult, with adult conversations where I've taken an interest and I've asked questions. So that wasn't really a lesson from high school. It was a lesson of retrospection of high school in conversation with people now, in friendships now with people of different cultures.
All right.
But I think it opened the door.
Yeah. It did, and maybe it was also preparing you for the future. There's hindsight is always the best teacher. Now, fast forward to tertiary. Where did you go to tertiary?
I went to Pretoria University.
UP.
Good old Tuckies.
Yeah. All right.
It was also an interesting experience.
Spill the beans. I want someone, a young person who is watching us from any tertiary institution, to also have an appreciation that whatever that you're going through, and I think, currently with the current generation, they seem to be struggling more around mental health related issues, and maybe some of our experiences are not different. It's just that maybe we responded differently at the time than how they are responding to. But we also want to know the fun stuff that
happened at university. Well, so the interesting thing was, my first year was in a mixed res, male and female. So that in itself, having gone from a boarding school establishment of girls only to being mixed with men, boys turning into men, and learning how to navigate that was quite an interesting experience. But we had lots of fun together. That hostel is no longer a mixed res, I'm assuming for very good reason.
I would imagine. So it's the other way around for us, because when we were in university at University of Zululand, it was very separate. I believe now it's mixed.
Oh, is it mixed now? Oh, okay, that's so interesting. Yeah, and then participating in RAG in your first year was a lot of fun. As students, we had a party bus the one year. It was given to the medical students, a party bus. It was a lot of fun, but when you think about what you got up to in that time, the friendships that you get to make at university, going from high school into university, now you're in a space with people that have a diverse interest, going into different fields, developing their mindset in different ways. So you really get a space now where you can choose your friendships. Whereas in high school, it was very closed up.
Yes.
Now it's very much broader. And so you have to take a lot more, like, who am I? Who do I want to have influencing in my life? Who are the people that I want to take for? Because this is now where good friendships are starting to develop. And a lot of us take our university friendships into the future. Not everyone, but a lot of the time.
Many of us. Hey,
many of us.
Shout out to all Mame. We've been friends for more than 35 years. My goodness, I'm not revealing my age.
So
all right. So I do know that's actually quite interesting. So I do know that I think your dad is a pharmacist, or
Yes,
was
a
right.
pharmacist.
So, but once a pharmacist, always a pharmacist.
Pretty much, yes.
And I know parents like to influence the children most of the time. So I'm saying this because it's something that I experienced. So
Okay.
my dad was a teacher.
Yes.
So I had studied communications and psychology. So finished 3-year degree, happy, and then what? And then my dad was like, yeah, indeed, what? So go back to do a diploma in education so that at least there's something that we know it's guaranteed for you. And
Yes.
so you went the route of physiotherapy. I'm
went
curious to know if your dad did not want to sway you to the other direction.
So interestingly enough, my dad I took an interest in pharmacy,
Yeah.
but he tried to sway me away.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I suppose my dad's quite forward thinking, so he just saw the change that was coming around pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
It was at a time when the community pharmacy a lot of them were starting to close down. It was becoming all of this big corporate stuff. So I don't want to start mentioning names on your podcast.
Yeah,
But you get the big corporate places, which obviously, which to you and me is really helpful. It brings the prices down of medication. But it took the community pharmacy where that pharmacist is looking after the people. A lot of them died down because they couldn't carry on financially. So my dad tried to sway me, not because he didn't think pharmacy was an amazing career to go into, but because he didn't think that it would be beneficial to me to have a good financial background eventually. So I was academically strong, so a lot of people tried to push me into a medical degree. That the push was to become a doctor. I wasn't interested. And
Why
then
not?
Long hours,
Back then.
blood.
I think blood could be. But now that you have an appreciation of the blood of Jesus, maybe it would have been better. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah. No, I still don't think. I didn't. Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't you.
Those are long hours that the doctors work.
And it's a real thing.
It's
right?
a real
Yeah.
thing. Like my heart goes out to a lot of the new graduates as well. All the effort that they put into it.
Okay.
Anyway.
So how did you get into physiotherapy?
Physio, I didn't know what I wanted to do. People were pushing me into a medical direction. I was watching cricket with my dad the one day. Just the thing that I did with my dad. And I saw this physiotherapist running onto the field, sorting
Six-pack
out
and stuff.
Yeah, sorting out that player. And I thought,
Right.
outdoor job.
Okay.
I couldn't have been more wrong about the career that I chose. Unless you specifically are working for a sports team, you're not outdoors all the time.
Yeah.
You are working in hospitals, you are working in rooms, you are working in nursing homes, you are working inside ICUs with no windows. It's not an outdoor job.
With our challenges. One
Yeah.
day is the back, is the neck, is the knee. Sometimes it's just the heart.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the heart.
Yeah. All right.
So chose that, got into it, enjoyed it, carried on with it, did it for 20 years.
Yeah. So I know that at some point you went to work in the UK.
I
Is
did,
it? Yeah?
yes.
Why?
Because I had the opportunity to,
Ah,
and
right.
I wanted to travel. I used going over to the UK to earn money so that I could then use that money to go and see places. Because remember, I'd now had my eye opened to multiple cultures in high school, and I was like, right, now there's this whole new world of all of the different ones that I can experience, different foods, the different ways of thinking, the different clothing, and the different sights. So I used my work in the UK to fund my travels for 2 years.
And how was the working experience though still?
The working experience, I was working as a locum,
Ah, okay.
which is a contract worker basically.
Yeah.
And I got to work in a slightly different field of physiotherapy. I was working with people that have physical and learning difficulties. Basically children and young adults. So it was a very different field of physiotherapy that I went into.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
So-
very interesting.
Yeah, right. you're mentioning that you did that obviously to make money, but also to travel. I saw in your bio that you've been to how many countries?
41.
I mean, honestly, you have to break that down for some of us.
Sure, okay.
How did you do that?
Well, you start off with Europe.
Right.
Europe, you can bounce from one country to the next. And obviously in one continent there's a whole bunch of different countries. Then I went and I did parts of North Africa. If you think about South Africa, you've got South Africa, you've got Lesotho, you've got Swaziland, you've
All
got
the south
Zambia,
end.
Namibia, Mozambique. So that's pretty easy to get to, well, easy to an extent. And then when I did parts of South America also, I would do trips together. I would combine the trips. I wouldn't just go see one country or try and see a few at the same time. So there would be longer trips rather than shorter trips.
To allow you an opportunity. So, for instance, in Europe, you are in the UK, so you can do France, you can do Italy, Spain, or whatever. Oh, okay.
Living in the UK, though, I could bounce into Europe for a weekend.
Yeah.
Because it was
France,
very affordable. The flights were quite cheap. So that made it quite easy.
Lovely.
Living in the UK and traveling to Europe.
You also had a travel blog at some point.
I did.
Was it? Yeah.
It's called the Carmen Footprint.
Oh, you still have?
Well, it's still out there, so you can go and look for
right.
it. The CarmenFootprint.com.
CarmenFootprint.com. We want to see what the girl was getting up to when she was traveling. So you've also done Africa as well as a continent.
Parts of Africa.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Africa that I haven't seen and that I'd love to see.
And how was that experience?
It's a beautiful experience. You know, it's interesting. And it's not negativity to any country, but having traveled to, I think it was Vietnam. I traveled to Vietnam, and I loved the country, and I loved the culture, and I enjoyed the food and the sights and everything. But there was something cold about the place, and I can't put my finger on it, but maybe it is that in Africa I'm so used to people being warm. And that is something that I've experienced in every single African country that I've been to, is the warmth of people. Very welcoming, very friendly, very kind, very gentle. I love that about Africa.
That's Africa. Hey, if you haven't traveled the continent and you are in South Africa, please do start planning to travel your own continent. Yeah, I've also been to a few countries, and I actually just love first we were doing it as family friends, and it was something like group travel is the best in the West.
Yes.
But because we were all family friends, so it worked for us. You're one of the very few white people that I know that have been to Inanda, to Wamex, Mlazi. I'm like, because I think locals are always skeptical about the townships and the peri-urban or rural areas. And how was the experience for you?
I loved it. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I love how people in like Umlazi and Inanda, everyone is friendly with each other. You know your neighbor. The kids play together. Like I love that about. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. I don't know if it has changed. I remember also. Sorry, I'm going completely off here. Asking my friend Londi to help me learn how to use a taxi, and my assumption was that everyone just chats on the taxi. And when I actually got the opportunity to go with her in the taxi, I saw everyone was on their cell phones. And I was like, oh no, this cell phone story, it has damaged this interaction of people with each other. And I've seen it not just locally, I've seen it internationally. I used to go to backpackers and you would meet people. And then a couple of years later, I would go to a backpackers and suddenly people aren't talking to each other, they're just on their phones. They're just taking their photos, doing their thing, but they're not actually getting to know the people, the locals. So very winded way to get back, I got to enjoy the local person and understand what they enjoy doing, which is very different to my culture. I got to experience the delicious foods. Once again, similar but very different to my culture. Yeah. So
Right.
I just, there's so much richness.
Yes.
Outside of the urban area of
Yeah.
Durban.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
beautiful and
Yeah.
colorful and
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah, the beauty, the color, the friendliness. You don't want to be missing out on that. Like you are in Durban North, but you've never been to Wamashu. Aibo, Sanukang. You gotta get on with the program. Yeah, things are happening in the townships, and it's not that bad. I know people talk about crime and stuff, but I mean, there's always measures to make sure that people are safe. So now you've been practicing physio for a while, but now you are pivoting to something different.
I am.
Yeah. But
So
why?
maybe it's a midlife crisis.
Okay. Welcome.
You know what? I love physio. It is an incredible career. You get to witness people being able to go from extreme pain to being able to engage in the things that they love again. But I've realized that when it is something like chronic pain, there is a lot more that I can help somebody with, other than what we call the biomedical, which is the hands-on stuff, the needles, all of those things, because we are biopsychosocial beings, and then you and me will bring in the spiritual as well. We have all of these different aspects, and all of them play into our experience of life. And believe it or not, our experience of pain. And so if I'm only addressing the biological side, which is a lot of the times it's changing in physio, but if you're only addressing that, there's this whole section of person that you're missing out on. And often that is what needs to be addressed in chronic pain. And hence me also shifting into chronic pain coaching. One of the varietals of coaching that I can do.
I love this midlife crisis of yours. So naturally, for the past 15 years, I would come to you and say, Carmen, today it's my knee, today it's my back, today it's my neck and shoulders, or just sometimes today it's my whole body. Like life is happening. So, and then you will be able to obviously deal with that, and then everything that it takes to try and resolve. So when I come to you now, and what's my challenge? Which problem do I present to you when I come to you now as a coach with all the things the complicated things that you mentioned?
So, you know, you get a lot of different pain diagnoses. One of them is fibromyalgia, which a lot of the time, you know, depending on the medical professional that you go to, sometimes it's pointed out and said, it's just in your head, which is not a nice thing to be told. Your brain might be involved, but it's not just in your head. It's a very real experience. And fibromyalgia fits into something called a functional neurological disorder. Chronic pain, so pain in your back or your neck or your knee that you've had for longer than 3 months. That's the type of thing that I can help you with, especially if you've gone and you've done x-rays and, you know, you're trying to avoid surgery and it's been there it's starting to make you feel depressed. You're worried about it all the time. You're worried that it's going to impact on your future. When pain becomes like that, I can help you to start to manage it, self-manage it, get it under control, learn what is in your control and what isn't, so that you can let go and learn what you can handle, becoming aware of what might be contributing to your pain, helping you discover how to stop that. So we've got lots of little very simple techniques that you can use to help yourself. Very simple things like breathing techniques can help to calm your nervous system down, which then reduces your pain, believe it or not.
So I'm thinking, it sounds like what you're saying now, you're not going to be touching the knees and all of that, but you will still be in a position to correct whatever that needs to be corrected.
Yes.
So there are tools.
There are tools, yes. There are many tools There are tools for stress management.
Okay.
There are tools for learning how to manage your emotions a bit better.
Okay.
There are tools for dealing with the fear of engagement with movement. So a lot of us, when we have back pain, you're so scared of certain movements that you're anxious about it before you even engage in it. So, but then you can build up an exercise program that helps you slowly re-engage in it, and you can start building confidence in your own body again. A lot of it happens subconsciously. So I'm saying these things, and you might not even know that you are fearful of a certain movement. Or going to a certain place that seems to exacerbate your pain. A lot of us aren't aware of these things. So a lot of what I do is I help people develop awareness about the things that might be impacting and how to deal with them a little bit better.
I just want us to make it more practical for someone who could be watching us out there. So here I am, I've always had a knee problem. So now I'm wanting to approach you now as a coach. So which means that you're not going to be doing the physio stuff. So where do you begin?
Well, I need to understand your history of your pain.
All right.
I need to understand what happened around about the time of your injury or at the time that your symptoms got worse or started to persist.
Okay.
So I'm going to just try and understand the biopsychosocial around that time.
Okay, just hold it there. What is the biopsychosocial?
Biological.
You're getting technical.
Psychological and social. Sorry, yes, layman's terms.
Yes.
Mind, body, spirit.
Mind, body, spirit. Work with me here.
Sorry.
Right?
So biological is physical. So understanding how sleep impacts on your pain. Understanding how your diet impacts on your pain. Understanding the things that you put into your body, understanding that there's genetics can impact, but there's some things that you can influence and other things that you can't influence, and how to work around those. So that's the biological side of things. Then you have the psychological, that's your beliefs. The things that have influenced how you see things, your perspective, your culture, your faith, your emotions. So the mental and the emotional aspect, and then social. So believe it or not, our finances have a huge amount of stress on us. So that's social. Social can also be, well, my family are saying, don't know, you're too old or you can't do anything. So now your social structure is also playing into your beliefs of I can't do this, and it reinforces the problem. So working around trying to understand how your relationships might be influencing your pain. Or actually, I speak about pain all the time. It can also be fatigue. It can also be burnout, so your stress. So it can also be those things.
Very interesting. Mind, body, spirit. I don't want to go back to that complicated term. Yeah.
Sorry, it's a very big term, but it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So these days, a lot of people are presenting with mental health challenges, So I think naturally when you are in that space, you want to consider going to a therapist or a clinical psychologist. But what I'm hearing you saying is that there could be other factors that might be related or neuro kind of related. I just want to help, our listeners out there. So then there's clarity in terms of I go to Carmen when I'm feeling this, or I just continue to go to my clinical psychologist or therapist, just so that it's clear.
So for me, the clarity comes in, so a clinical diagnosis of depression or anxiety requires a professional psychologist to work with you. And I know the question has been asked, when is it clinical? When it starts to impact on the different areas of your life. So now you're struggling at work, you're struggling with your social life, you're struggling with your relationships. It's difficult. Like, it really is starting to impact on every single area of your life. We all have ups and downs, but when it goes on for long periods and it's starting to impact on other areas of your life, then definitely you should be seeing a psychologist. If you had to come to me and I start working with you and I pick up that you have more than a little bit of a low feeling or a little bit of hopelessness because of your circumstances, and I'm seeing that this is something that might be clinical, I'm not going to hold on to, I'm going to refer you on. I don't play outside of my field. In fact, as a health coach or as a pain coach, I would want to work with your GP to know that you have checked your bloods and made sure that you've got all your vitamin levels and all of those things right. If there is a psychologist that you're interacting, I would want to work with the psychologist as well, so that you really are getting this full team working with you. The coach is there to help you to take that information and to build accountability and step by step putting good habits into your life.
I want to bring the spiritual part here. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah. So how does that come into play?
So not every person is a Christian.
Of course.
So I'm not going to, I'm always going to pray for them, but I'm not going to push. So the spiritual side for a lot of people is, it may actually be getting out into nature and being in a nature space is going to just help them to connect spiritually. Doing mindfulness has been also seen as so you and I would probably do prayer as part of our mindfulness, but they would just do mindfulness. So that would be the spiritual aspect. If somebody is a Christian that's coming to me, if I feel Holy Spirit is leading me to say something, as a coach I always ask permission before I give advice, because coaching isn't advice. Coaching is helping somebody change their thinking. I'm going to ask your permission before I give you advice, or I'm going to ask you permission and say, look, I feel like the Holy Spirit has given me this to tell you. Are you open to receiving it? And if that person says yes, then I will. I don't push anything on anyone.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So someone who is watching us will be like, okay, we heard that she's a trained physiotherapist, but what qualifies her to be able to do all these other things that she's just mentioned now?
A certified brain-based coach. I've studied brain-based coaching. And I've
what
also,
does that mean?
So it's through it's Neuro Leadership Institute, which is UK based. They're all over the world.
Is that the stuff that's called NLP or whatever?
No, NLP. No? NLP has. I don't really know the full.
Okay.
It's neuro-linguistic programming. It's also about I think the words that you speak over yourself. I'm not 100% sure. That's not not my field of expertise. Neuro Leadership. The Neuro Leadership Institute teaches brain-based coaching. It used to be called results-based coaching. So it is very much focused on, these are the goals that I'd like to achieve, and then you help somebody set up a program to get to those goals. You can use this way of coaching to help somebody. You mentioned executives, so you can help somebody in their business, in their work sphere, or you can help them. Now, I've gone the health route as well because of my degree in physiotherapy and my interest in neuroscience and the things that I've studied further beyond physiotherapy.
So ideally, you are in a position to help anyone from executives to students even, or to just a person who is just like working and struggling with all the things that you've just mentioned. All right.
Anyone that has specific goals that they want to achieve, or they're struggling in this place where they want to do this, but this thing is holding me back. Then we can discuss and work through why, and then the brain-based side of things helps you put things in place that makes it easier for your brain to go in that direction. Because our brains are pretty lazy. They like doing the same thing over and over. Change is very tough.
Very true.
It takes way more energy for your brain to start doing something new than to carry on in the same path. So making it easy for the brain by having these goals, but the goals need to be generally attached to values. If you have values or a purpose or a meaning attached to that goal, it's a lot easier for you to work towards it. Very simple one is, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
No, that is not purpose, that is not meaning, but I would like to be able to play with my grandchildren crawling around on the floor when I'm 90 years old.
All right.
Very different.
Sounds like me.
Very different.
Okay.
But you're going to probably use the weight loss to get to that. But you're going to use the meaning to drive your motivation.
All right. Okay. Very interesting, very interesting. Anything that you would like to share that I didn't ask you, Carmen?
Offhand, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, then you'll have to share your details, where we can find you, WhatsApp, email, social media handles, because I know that there'll be people who will be interested to maybe touch base with you after listening to this.
Yeah. So sorry. One thing that I can say is if there is anyone that is interested, and as you've heard, I go off in one direction. It's results based. If you have something that you want to achieve, generally speaking, I can help you. My main focus is health, but I can help. And we've spoken about executive before and leadership. I can help in those areas. What I would do is get in contact with me. We can have a conversation for 20 minutes and you can see whether I'm the right person to work with you, whether this really is the direction you want to go. And I'm really open just to having a conversation first with somebody, just to chat it through without any pressure
and commitment,
no commitments, anything like that.
So it's a virtual consultation.
It would be a virtual consultation unless you are in Durban and you love a coffee. I love coffee. I'm very happy to meet people in coffee shops.
Sounds like it helps you to get away and breathe a little bit. Okay, so where can our viewers reach you? Your WhatsApp number or your email address, if that's easier.
I'm going to give you my email address just because I'm a work in progress. I'm still getting all of my stuff sorted out. So it's Carmen, CARMEN .delange, DELANGE at gmail.com.
Say that again.
Carmen.delange at gmail.com.
All right.
And then I do have an Instagram handle, which I am working on. So don't judge me on it when you go onto it immediately. And that is truehuman.lifestyle. So HUMAN.lifestyle. Truehuman.lifestyle. But if you Google if you search Carmen Griffiths on Instagram, you will find it.
Okay, Carmen Griffiths on Instagram. That's where you will be able to connect with her, and also via that email address. Thank you to Gift. These are the products that we produce here that sponsored this particular segment today. You can reach out on our Instagram account as well, www.legift.com. Yeah, thank you to Lindani Sibande on the cameras today. Kamalami Kuzodom Simang Gan Sibande. God bless Azania. God bless Africa. And of course, happy spring to everybody out there. Shine.